Have you got a vision for this album as such, or does it just kind of evolve as it happens?
It's been evolving, very naturally, up to date. We've no preconceived ideas of what we want it to sound like, but just been picking the guitar and the keyboards, and Heather's been doing the same, and we've been just doing it what's naturally coming, really, and it is starting to have a bit of a sound to it. Still early days to tell what the finished product will be like, but it's definitely mostly autumn, and I think it's definitely something a little bit kind of new in a way, organic sounding, definitely, and like to experiment a little bit. I think we have a license with what the nature of how we put albums together and stuff, and there's nobody telling us we have to do this and the other. We can experiment and get and try things out, really, and I think it's rich in textures and colours, as some of the albums we've done before have been.
You've just been here for a week now again, but before that you spent 2 weeks up at the lakes, so would you like to tell us just about how that went?
Yeah, that was great. We started there at the beginning of January, and I think it was about the 5th of January. Bryan had all the equipment set up in the living room, and I had the biggest room upstairs and set up a keyboard and my guitar and various instruments up there, and we had our separate workstations, occasionally jammed together, which you'll see on the video diary. And I think it's been quite a fruitful time. It was very, very rainy and very, very windy, as is the lakes at this time of the year, and hence we stayed indoors completely, really, tending the fires. It had a couple of open fires, and I think we both came away with 4 or 5 ideas, really. And I really like what I've heard, particularly what's proposed as the opening track. It's very unusual and very mostly autumn at the same time. There's a lot of sort of Last Bright Light feel stuff that I've heard today being kicked around, so that's quite nice. But we shall see. That could all change.
Who knows? So what can you tell us about some of the songs so far on this album? Again, it's early days. I mean, you played something last night, which I thought was really good, but it was almost quite unmostly autumny in some ways. A very sort of riff-based thing. I thought it turned into Jimmy Page for a minute.
Well, yeah, that particular idea. I mean, when we finished the song, I would imagine it'll have a little bit more of a mostly autumn sound on it, but. It was just a riff that came out. It was natural, and I've got some vocal ideas obviously not on there yet, but it's something we wanted to lay down, and I wanted to sort of record and try out. And whether it's on mostly autumn is a strange thing for me, because I find it hard to get perspective on it, really. But it's slightly different, maybe. But it's not totally unlike Winter Mountain, I guess, in a strange sort of way, or maybe even some of the riffing on Dreaming, or Simple Ways, actually, a little bit. It's got that sort of organic sort of edge to it, but with a riff, but it is very riff based. Well, I mean, there's that song, and then there's some other songs that are acoustic based as well, but we haven't started really stacking all the other instrumentation on them at this point, but there's definitely kind of an organic feel about it so far.
As always, it's a great pleasure to be working with Mostly Autumn. It's great fun, and it's great music. And I think all you people out there that buy it will be very, very pleased with it.
So, is this the end of week 2? End of day 11?
It is the end of day 11, yes.
How are you feeling?
looking forward to a relaxing Sunday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's been very, very good, very productive. We cracked a few good tunes, and the album's sounded really, really good. Very, very pure. And the title track we spent 2 days on, last couple of days, and that's sounding excellent. And the album's, you know, taking shape. It's got a really good sound. It's concise where it needs to be, and it's very exciting, actually.
Anything you want to add, John, for the end of the second week?
Get off my land and don't come back.
Fantastic. The true spirit of Fairview shone forth.
Look at Brian's dinky little socks.
The dinky
Dinky
socks.
or stinky, did you say?
Dinky look.
Dinky, oh,
Trainer
little
socks.
tennis socks on.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing
Fancy
sport
you noticing that, John?
Well, I just saw a bit of bare skin.
Roger walked in and noticed your hair, and now you're noticing Brian's socks.
I know.
Oh, what goes on when I'm
getting
not
in touch with my
here?
feminine side.
Right, on that note, see you next week.